Did you hear about the Peregrine spacecraft? It launched from Cape Canaveral and was headed to the moon, but it ran into trouble with its propulsion system.
Yeah, I heard. This issue caused a critical loss of propellant, which is pretty serious. They're trying to stabilize it now.
Interestingly, this was the first flight of the Vulcan rocket by the United Launch Alliance. It's a big deal, because it's the first U.S. mission to aim for a soft lunar landing since the Apollo flights.
After the launch, the spacecraft had to activate its propulsion system. But then, a propulsion system issue stopped it from pointing towards the sun, which was crucial for its solar cells.
The ground team did an improvised maneuver to fix this, right before the spacecraft lost communication. When it came back online, they found out the maneuver worked.
But then, just 29 minutes later, they got bad news. The propulsion system failure was causing a big loss of propellant.
NASA commented on this, saying that every success and setback is a learning opportunity. They'll use this experience to further their lunar exploration efforts.
If the Peregrine lands on the moon as planned, it's going to be on February 23rd. But there's another company, Intuitive Machines, trying to land a day earlier.
This race to the moon isn't between countries, it's between private companies. NASA's funding these missions through their commercial Lunar Payload Services program.
This is all part of NASA's Artemis program, aiming to return astronauts to the moon. They've got big plans, like a mission with 4 astronauts circling the moon.
The Vulcan rocket's first flight is a big achievement for ULA, especially since they're planning many more launches and competing with companies like SpaceX.
Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos's company, is also involved. They supplied the engines for the Vulcan rocket.
The Pentagon is interested in Vulcan too. They want it as an alternative to SpaceX for national security missions.
Peregrine is carrying a lot of scientific instruments, including NASA's, to study water behavior on the moon.
It's also carrying DNA samples and cremated remains, which will stay on the moon as a tribute.
Astrobotic, the company behind Peregrine, took a direct route to the moon. But they're waiting until February 23rd to land, for better sunlight on the landing spot.
The company knows landing on the moon is hard. History shows about half of such missions succeed, especially given budget constraints.
This mission represents a new era for the moon and space exploration. It opens up opportunities for commercial payloads to reach the moon regularly.
Astrobotic's CEO said the mission was exciting and terrifying, reflecting the challenges and significance of lunar exploration.
This mission, despite its challenges, is a significant step in expanding commercial space activities to the moon and beyond.